happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
Phil Hartman.
Oh, yeah!
Jan Hooks.
Oh, yeah, baby, I've been a naughty girl.
In the event that will change the planet forever. An alien abducted by a human.
Oh, yeah!
And Harry's the alien he's after.
Oh, yeah!
It doesn't get any bigger than this. The big Third Rock Rescue.
Let's go!
And will Don and Sally...
Ready to rock my world?
Well, you're definitely in for a jostle.
Oh, yeah. The 1-hour Third Rock season finale, NBC Wednesday.
White rappers, white rappers, white rappers, white rappers.
Marky Mark set the stage. I saw a Marky Mark commercial, like one of his underwear commercials. It is one of the douchiest things, Steve. Like, thank you. Thanks to Calvin Klein for the free draws.
From back in the day, or you talking about
Yeah,
recently?
from when he's like young as fuck, when he's still with the Funky Bunch. He's always like, yo, what's up? Marky Mark, yeah.
Marky Mark.
Don't
He's
get
one of
it.
the best rappers.
I'll fucking blind you. Fucking, I'm fucking from Boston, yeah. I don't
Wicked
know.
hot.
I like Marky
Oh my-
Mark though because he was in one of my favorite movies that we both love, Boogie Nights. So
I'm a fan of Mark Wahlberg, not Marky Mark.
okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry, Mark. Sorry, Mr. Wahlberg. Let me get one of those burgers. Watch Boogie Nights with you. Is that his best role?
They have
Steve?
Wahlburgers here.
Is that
Yeah.
his best role?
I would say, yeah, I think
Has
so,
to be,
man.
right? It's iconic. It's in and like anyone who hasn't watched it, this is a 90s related thing. Go watch Boogie Nights. And if you don't like it, tell them little Bill sent you.
Do yourself a favor and watch that Boogie Nights. Hey, Jack here says you have a big cock.
Can I see it? I mean, Steve, how ready were you when you went to Yep.
How soon can
Thank
you
you.
start? Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Eddie. I like when Philip Seymour Hoffman sees it for the first time. He just is like, yeah. So we're a couple of we were some perverted kids, Steve. We like I don't know why. Like, how did you find that movie? Was it just like out of weird curiosity, or like because it doesn't seem like even it was in my like wheelhouse to want to check out.
Well, I got it through Columbia House. I got that VHS that we
Oh.
watched. Yeah, it was one of those deals, and I knew it was nominated our freshman year of high school, and it was on my like list of things to watch. And once I started having my Columbia House days, it was available. It was one of the titles available. I was like, well, shit, let's add this to the collection because I've never seen it. It's apparently a mockumentary on the pornography industry in the 70s. So there's going to be some tits and Heather Graham and some tits.
Yeah, a lot of that, a lot of fake humping, a lot of great John C. Reilly comedy moments. You know, him as Chest Rockwell, just fucking living life. There's a lot of fucking hitters, and the guy that plays Party Boy, Todd, that guy, Thomas Jane, I think
Yeah.
is his name. Yeah, but it was that's one of those again, you had a huge impact on my movie taste because you showed me that, you showed me Jackie Brown, and I don't know for whatever reason those ones are like two of my top 5 and you introduced them to me. So you must have just fantastic taste.
Hey, I have a red wine to that.
There you go. That's very classy of you. It's very not Boogie Nights-esque of you, Steve. I feel like we should just be, discussing literature or something with that kind of beverage.
They drank red wine on the set of Boogie Nights. They had to.
I mean, you got to do something. Fucking she fucking don't eat on me, man.
They were spilling wine and digging girls.
Think you should get some new shit? Fucking dude. What a why that movie, if nothing else, is like there's like at least 30 great lines in that movie that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Lollipops in my mouth and butter in my ass. I mean, all those. We could keep going, but enough
The simple
about Boogie
pleasures.
Nights, Steve. Um, I don't want to talk about Boogie Nights. I don't know why. I just feel like it's too much. But I don't want to gush because what if we cover it one week? Because we got to have
One
some
of these
topics.
days. One of these days, Alice.
But I
Biggie
am super.
nights.
It is crazy to me because there's those movies specifically are like my archetypes for great movies. And Boogie Nights, some people, my wife included, see it and don't appreciate it. But if you go in with an open mind and specifically wanting to laugh at some of the more ridiculous shit, you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, and I tried to sell the movie to Kendra because, like you said, she didn't get it. And the interview that we had for Crushgasm, man, that came out in '97, and I just explained it to her like this, man. I was a freshman in high school, and being an adolescent, you're sex crazed, and hey, there's a documentary about porn. I'm all in. There's titties.
Yeah. And some you want to see, some you don't. You see some weird like it more like to me fucked up drugs for me a little bit because you see like the fucked up side of it's one of those like cautionary tales where it starts great, everybody's having a great time, but by the end it's like, okay, this is fucked up. Time to open a radio store, you know.
Note to self: never do porn.
Shit, Steve. This mustache, I think I'm about ready to. I got the look now. I just got to figure out who's going to film that trash, but I need some
John
extra
Holmes over
money,
here.
y'all.
The NBA playoffs continue on NBC this weekend. Saturday at 3 Eastern, Lakers Jazz. Sunday at 2:30 Eastern, Pacers Bulls. The NBA playoffs this weekend on NBC.
Hey, boys and girls, this is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Ghetto Boy posters and your six-pack of Steve Weisers and push it. Yeah, push it. Yeah, push it. Yeah, push it. Yeah, push it. Push it. Push it. Yeah.
Let me tell you about a some bitch named Steve G. What? Likes him a red wine. What? Talking about the 90s. What?
Well, today, my friend, we're talking about all things March 23rd in the 90s, son. Starting off in 1990, Pretty Woman premieres in theaters. A man in a legal but hurtful business needs an escort for some social events and hires a beautiful prostitute he meets, only to fall in love. Directed by Gary Marshall, starring Julia Roberts and Richard Gere. Dickman.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk for days about this, Steve, because this is one of the first rated R, or this wasn't even rated R, I don't think. This is a weird movie that I was exposed to as a very young child. I'd say 5. So,
Was
it's weirdly a kind of a Disney movie, I believe. If you do
Buena
like the
Vista.
Buena Vista, so
They-
offshoot, weird they released this. And yeah, it's like sort of the best case scenario if you become a hooker, Steve.
Yeah. And I think Buena Vista, they wanted to branch off from Disney like that. I think that was the purpose. Like, let's make adult oriented things. And it's like, we can't do this under the Disney moniker. Let's branch off and do some like non-sexual prostitute flick. And that's basically what it was, because you didn't really see any humping like you did in Boogie Nights. You didn't see any titty. And I watched it over the week, hoping to see a Julia Roberts titty, not a nipple, not an aureola, not a.
I mean, you
anything.
get like you get some like provocative scene when she's watching Lucy on the floor and goes in for the beeger. That, I mean, she's not naked, but she's about to give the dude head. I didn't know what it was at the time. I just knew. Here's what's weird, Steve, thinking back on it. No idea what was going on in that, but young 5-year-old me watching it, Some about that, I was like, I like this. I didn't know what the fuck they were. I was like, are they gonna fucking smush grapes? They're gonna do something, kid. You know. But that there's another scene where I think like she is naked, but you know, it was a Disney esque sort of non-sexual hooker movie, and it is the best case scenario. Dude hires a hooker. Dude keeps the hooker around longer than the required time in Beverly Hills, like royalty hotel shit going on, and
Yeah.
they fall in love. And you know, Dave Chappelle did it better, but they showed the reality of this, and it would have been just a guy like, you need to leave now, and it would have been him taking her out to dinners, meeting high class like $1 million clients, and you're just like, hopefully this chick's not crazy. I mean, she is a hooker, but you know,
Yeah. Richard Gere really gambled with his life and his career in this movie, man, because he brought her around, a hooker, a streetwalker, around higher ups in his business.
I mean, his
And
bosses, his colleagues, he let fucking George Costanza in on it, and George Costanza tried to blow up the steez. He was just trying to pay her, and he's like, look, I thought I could get some. You know, there's a whole kerfuffle that made me hate that fucking Jason Alexander for a long time, because I was like, that guy's a scumbag.
he plays a really good scumbag. And it's not like he's in a good light on Seinfeld either, man. You know?
Yeah, here he's a little more direct, I guess you could say. But I don't know. For whatever reason, this movie just became a thing. It helped launch Julia Roberts even further into the stratosphere than she already was. Um, she also in this movie leaves her friend Kat or Kid or whatever, another hooker who got her in the game. God knows what happened to that poor broad, because she just gets left to the wayside, you know.
I believe she ended up doing a sitcom with David Spade.
Well, she definitely did that. You know, she that makes sense actually. That's actually was her through line. She met David Spade at some point in LA. You know,
Yeah.
he's David Spade, and you know, you get at least one role out of it, if nothing else. So,
How about you and me do a little? All right.
I like
I wish
that.
I could do it, David Spade. That's just the clicking. That's the best he can. But you know, Molly Ringwald was offered a role, a Julia Roberts role, man. And Drew Barrymore, she auditioned, but Gary Marshall said she was too young for the role. And I feel like that would have been a whole different movie if either of them played that.
Especially Drew Barrymore, because even at this point, I mean, she wasn't old. I mean, so that
No,
would have been like almost a human trafficking movie at that point. You know, it's like Taken if you just showed it from the chick's perspective instead of the dad's.
Robert Kelly would have loved that movie.
Oh, don't. I mean, Pretty Woman. It was a whole fucking thing. It even got that like line that people, even to this day, the whole like big mistake, huge that thing. I mean, they'll
Yeah.
use that in perpetuity. So I don't get it. I don't specifically get why I, as a child, was allowed to watch this and not movies with violence. Because even, I mean, they allude to it, Steve. You're talking like this is tame. This chick gets down on her knees and is about to just blast off on this dude. We all know what was gonna happen. I mean, I don't know what you wanted them to show, but even a 5-year-old me was like, it's about to go down. You
That will
know?
not suffice. I need to see the act. And
I mean, damn, that's a whole other movie, Steve.
it's
Like,
it's a whole nother movie, and that's my problem. And this movie apparently it grossed $463 million, man.
I mean, how much did it cost to make? I know there were some stars and you shot in LA, but I mean, that much? That has to be like an astronomical return on your funds. And considering like it also this gave Richard Gere a new life. He got sort of
Yeah.
around that whole gerbil shit for a while, and just like I don't know, he sort of just cooled off. And then this came, and obviously like Julia Roberts, I can't really think of what she was in before this, but after this there was like that, like she was in the Pelican Brief. She was in like a lot of like
Yeah.
dramas and shit like that. So I mean, I guess Gary Marshall he does know what he's doing, clearly, or did. I think he's dead, rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah, he passed away. This movie only cost 14 million to make. Yeah.
I mean, there's no way. I think I actually watched. They had one of those like Netflix documentary shows about just like movies, and I think this was one of them. And I even
Mhm.
think like somebody involved in it that was like a producer said like once we saw like the return, it was like nobody thought this was shit was gonna. I think there was like a lot of problems when they made it too, just like inconveniences, and
Yeah.
it just goes to show you, I guess, like just get it done and see what happens because this thing blew up in a way like nobody, everybody got paid and everybody was like, it's like winning the lottery. Who knew? I thought I was just making a movie about hookers.
It's like they robbed the bank, man. But and also in 1990, A Shock to the System premieres. When electrocuted by the fuse box at home, Graham gets ideas concerning his nagging wife and the guy who got Graham's promotion at the office. Directed by Jan Eagleson, starring Michael Caine, Elizabeth McGovern, Peter Riegert, Swootsy Kurtz, Will Patton, and Jenny Wright.
So it's basically like Ernest goes to jail, but the dude's got a vendetta out. Damn. Is
He
Michael
definitely has a
Caine
vendetta.
electrocuting people? What's going on here?
Michael Caine kills everyone that got in his way. And it starts when he's on the subway. He found out he's not getting the promotion that he feels he deserves. And he's accosted by a homeless guy. And the homeless guy's like, look, man, I know you sitting on, look at you, man. Look at how you dress, man. Like, why you being stingy, man? Come up off something. And Michael Caine just pushes him onto the railway. And the guy gets ran over and he's not even affected by it. He's emotionless. He just sees the guy get run over and he's just like,
So it's like American Psycho, but he's not American. He's just a psycho. And then event he gets some kind of powers too. Then
he doesn't get powers. He just becomes like homicidal
oh
because his
wow,
wife, yeah, she is a nag, and he figures out a way to have her electrocuted. There's like a faulty light bulb in their basement or something like that, and he gets electrocuted. He gets zapped, and it gives him the idea. Is like, you know what? I hate this bitch. Let me think of a way where I can have her killed, and like I have no ties to it. So he gets away with that. The guy who gets the promotion blows him up in a boat. And the
man.
guy who would never leave his office, he always like has this thing with his office, like this is my office, but there's a guy that was put in there taking up his office space. So by the end of the movie, he has him blow up in a plane.
Damn. So Michael Caine just being petty this whole movie, and that's all it is.
Put a cape on him, super petty.
Damn. Well, I need to watch this. I like that.
I kind of liked it too because I'm petty as fuck. But in 1991, Clarissa Explains It All premieres on Nickelodeon with the episode Clarissa's Revenge. Ferguson embarrasses Clarissa at school, and so she is out to exact revenge using a straitjacket and balloons. Sam's father wants him to get into the football team, and he is determined to not be in it with Clarissa's help.
And I mean, what was your thoughts on this show? I was a fan, Steve. I was all in on Clarissa when I was a little kid. You know.
I loved this show as a kid, man. I thought Clarissa was so cool. Like she had a male friend, so it showed me that she can be cool with the fellas. She made video games, played video games, and you know she always had this thing with her tormenting brother. I didn't have a brother as a kid, but I had little cousins who got on my nerves. So like I felt this. I vibed with her.
Yeah, definitely the video game aspect of this, which I kind of forgot about, but so fucking cool. She's definitely, gonna be a tech billionaire at some point if she's doing this kind of level of shit. But even like the simple song, the design, like the graphic design, it all just was. It wasn't really even different. It was just like they nailed it, and I was a huge fan of this. The Fergwad character, I forgot just like how much back and forth, how funny it was. Uh, and yeah, dude, the first one's wild. First Clarissa, and she's gonna explain it all. But before she does, she's just gonna explain a few things. She's gonna let you know this is a great idea actually for the first show. She just says, "Let me get all this out of the way right now." Ba ba ba, and she walks us through it, Steve.
Things she likes: Twizzlers, Jawbreakers, sugar bombs, they might be giants, and driving. Things she doesn't like: Home haircuts, tiny germs, and barf. Always taste like OJ and pizza. She tells us about her parents. Janet, she works with kids at the Children's Museum. Her father, Marshall, is an architect. He builds houses in weird shapes. He's a modern architect. And then Ferguson, good
AKA
old
Ferg
Fergwad.
Face, AKA Fergwad, AKA that motherfucker right there. And they don't like each other, Steve. Ferguson, kind of a douche. Kind of Carlton. He just is a fucking like square biz dude. He's constantly butt kissing the parents. And Clarissa's just not feeling it. She didn't ask for this. Especially a ginger brother. That's gotta suck.
Is this where your hatred started? Is this where the seed was planted?
I don't know. That's a good question. Probably. I mean, I'm sure there was some redhead that did something to me as a little kid, but I can't really place it. And yeah, Ferguson, I mean, he's it. That's a number one right there. That's a dictionary definition. They got like a lot of built up resentment inside, and it's because they've been cursed with that, you know.
I feel he's in the Hall of Fame of little brothers on sitcoms.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like dastardly little brother, like
Yeah.
he's up there. I can't really think of like ones that are even at his level. He might be the
He
number one, Steve.
he might be the GOAT, man.
He's got some
And
weird taste. I'll tell you that. But sorry about that. Didn't mean to interrupt.
and we find out like she has this hatred for him because for one, there's a lot of reasons, but for one, Ferguson brought in her training bra for show and tell. And I don't know, somehow, some way she found out. And who does that?
I feel like the teacher's fucked up for even allowing. Like the second you see him pulling a bra out, it's like, yo, wait, what the fuck is that? What are you doing? And the kids, I mean, this class, like whatever the comedy is, this is the style of comedy they love because the whole class, you know, I'd just be like, oh man, that's a bra. I mean, they were like, look at those little titties.
And I swear, dude, the sitcoms that we cover, the teachers are just so fucking tranquil. Like they just do nothing. Like if that was us in real time, in real life, man, we would have got suspended. The teacher would have jumped up out of her chair and said something, done something.
Yeah.
Just like,
Hey, enough, or enough, Ferguson. Come on. You know, that's it. I would have been sent to the principal's office, and I wouldn't. You never even would get there, Steve. But you know, the point is, it worked. It embarrassed Clarissa, even like third hand, because she didn't even really know about this. And I really wouldn't give that big of a fuck because it's young kids. You're never gonna be in like class with these kids. Fuck them.
but as a kid, it's a big deal.
It is. So she knows about it. And in the intro, before we even cut to the theme song, she's like, Ferguson's gonna die tonight. So like she's taking it very personally.
And this is the first episode. Before we even hit the theme song, she's talking about killing her younger sibling, man. And we're introduced to Sam, her best friend Sam. And Sam, his dad is a sports writer. And his dad also bet another sports writer that his son would make the football team. Sam doesn't want to play on the football team because Wally Butterman would kick his butt every day. Sam is a wuss.
He is. And I mean, avoiding a bully, I get it. But Sam also has never heard of a door. He uses a ladder throughout this whole show to get into Clarissa's room, which is problematic in a lot of ways. But, you know, maybe just knock. We'll let you in. But yeah, he's dreading playing football, which I get for two reasons. As a fat kid, anything that involved a lot of running and physical activity, I was against. He's not fat, but he's obviously not athletic. And also, I guess one of the bullies is one of the main dudes on the team. And you like that's just asking for it, Steve. If you get an excuse to hit like a bully to hit you, that's fucked up. Like that, you don't want that.
And Clarissa, she's always got the answers. That's why she explains it all. She tells him to wear a neck brace and say he's injured.
But you
Sounds
got to
simple
go
enough.
once. You have to go once. Go practice one time. Make it look good. Make them think you're trying. But then the next day, come in all fucked up looking like you're trying to get into an insurance scheme. And then they're not going to let you play. And that is kind of like insanely genius, Steve, from a kid's perspective. There's a lot of ins and outs of getting the neck braces and stuff, but I gotta hand it to her. Shit, this is good.
Man, I've heard of playing hooky to avoid going to class. Never heard of playing a hooky to avoid playing for sports.
I mean, I definitely tried to like fake not injuries, but like maybe sick or something to not go to like a baseball practice, but just straight not playing a sport at all. Like that's
At
what he's
all.
trying to do. So, you know, just go and fucking maybe you'll knock the kid out. He'll stop harassing you. But Sam, right now, he's just looking for the easy way out. I get it. We all get it. And Clarissa's got a way for him, but he does have to go to practice one time and just, fake the funk.
And Marshall comes in and tells Clarissa, it's time for dinner, sport. He always calls Clarissa sport. And when we're at the kitchen, Clarissa has an update about how everything went. Janet, the mom, bombed the eggs in the microwave. And so she resulted to tofu pancakes. And Marshall, he read the comics.
Yeah. And Ferguson just fucking being a douche, sitting there. And he's making fun of, because one thing I think that Sam brought over was like the straitjacket. Because Clarissa does have like this whole scheme to kill Ferguson. One of which is big balloons, another part of which is a straitjacket. So I think she actually got caught in the straitjacket whenever Marshall came in. And when we do cut, it's actually the next day, we're talking about now. And Ferguson's just giving it to her. He's like, yeah, fucking straitjacket, blah, blah, blah. And, she's just basically looking at him like, keep digging your grave, dude. I got a helium tank up in my room. I'll have to fucking set you into the stratosphere, you little piece of shit.
Count your days. And Sam, he pops up into the kitchen with a Sharpie shiner. I swear, this is like a horrible, lazy job on makeup's part because it just looks crudely drawn on.
I thought he just still had a little bit of that black shit that football players put under their eyes when they play. I thought he just left the shit on at first, but no, that's a black eye, Steve.
It's supposed to be a black eye.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he took an elbow to the grill, though. I mean, here's my thing. No need for the fucking shit now. I got the physical evidence right here. I'm going to fake like I can't see and we're good. Like these kids, you got to update the plan here.
You really do. And he leaves through the window per usual. And even Marshall comments, why doesn't that kid ever use the door? To avoid you hippie weirdos, because they are weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's even the mom who seems pretty cool. There's like some she works at like I don't know. There's shit going on here that we don't know about. And also I just like to just a quick aside. I met the dad of this show while working. And a quick just F you to that guy. Because when I said that I loved him in the show, we were working on a commercial set, like to shoot a commercial for some regional thing. He didn't give me the time of day, Steve. In fact, I think he didn't like that I brought it up. So I don't know.
Well, they did say that he was hard to work with at first because he couldn't handle playing the side character, not realizing like, hey, this is on a children's network, a children's show on a children's network.
It's not the Marshall Explains It All show, dude. Just be the dad. You didn't get that?
That part. And it took him a while to warm up to that idea. It's like, dude, do you want to get this job or not?
Yeah, and I mean, basically at this breakfast, Ferguson he's good at sucking up to the parents. He's great at just being like, Mom, you look great today. Throwing in those like little quick ones where you get some points. He's definitely giving a
pancakes.
Toy. Yeah. These aren't regular pancakes? Man, you nailed it. And Clarissa, again, she's just sitting there going, let me just blow those fucking balloons up and I'll have this little bastard out of here. So we do cut to his room, or cut to Clarissa's room, and now she's talking to Sam because she was going to help a bunch of people out, but more specifically Sam, because obviously they're in this plan, and he's rocking the shiner, and he explains how he got the shiner. One play into practice, he basically fucked himself up and not even on purpose, Steve. He's just clumsy. I think he dropped into an elbow.
He illegally shoved his face into Wally's arm, and I don't know. He still made the team, I guess, somehow, some way. And his dad even said this is his best day since divorcing Sam's mom.
That's tough. I mean, now you got to go with it, bro. Like, unless you don't give a fuck about your dad, you're kind of stuck. But Clarissa, luckily, has another plan. And really, she's like, we'll figure out this whole thing with you, but I want to show you my little thing I got with Ferguson. And this is where we get to see her video game shit, Steve. She has this is where I was like, why did she make video games? The video games are a representation of whatever her scheme is. So in this one, it's called Fergicide. And you just have to shout out that this girl is making custom video game plan things just off script on just a home computer, Steve. Like, NASA needs to call Clarissa. Fuck Sam's problems.
The graphics are better than Sega Genesis at the time.
And it's literally showing what she's going to do. She's going to put Ferguson in a straitjacket. She's going to connect that straitjacket to a bunch of balloons, and then she's going to send them up into the stratosphere like those Joker balloons in Batman 1.
Those are my balloons.
And Clarissa's from the future, man. She's got this software. It's called Dr. Sports Medical Diagnostic Software. And with that, she's going to type up an excuse for Sam to not have to go to football practice.
I mean, where was this chick in our time, Steve? We needed this. I mean, she's doing, I do this for other people. Hey, forge something. Throw a little fucking, make it look official. She's doing that in 1991. So whatever happens to Clarissa, I think really she's got at least something in forgery. But if I'm really reading the room and what's going on here, Steve, I think she creates Skynet and kills us all. She's the reason Terminator 2 happens. So that's they just changed it a little bit, but that would be a better movie, I think. Clarissa Darling created a program called Skynet. She killed us all.
Oh no, Clarissa!
She was trying to kill her brother Ferguson, but she killed humanity instead.
Sam always climbed through the window, never the door.
Why does he use the door? Get out! Get in the door!
Clarissa has it figured out. She's gonna pump fake on Ferguson. She's like, right before he disses her, he's like, "Buzz off, bozo! You eat dirt, you dim-witted, whatever." And then she cuts him off like, "Hey, I know something about a certain BICYCLE."
Yeah, she blindsides him in the living room. And one thing that's weird about him in this living room, he's gonna be morbidly obese because I think he's putting whipped cream on cookies, Steve. Which, that's a boss move, but he's just sitting watching TV, and he is agitated. He's like, get the fuck out of the way. Like, you're blocking the screen.
It's cookie and TV time.
Yeah, I'm trying to fucking blast off on this whipped cream and take a couple of hits also. And go into the stratosphere. And Clarissa's she's like, look, I'm not supposed to say anything, but there's this bike that I know you've been wanting. He's like, wait, that one? White or blue? White or blue? Which one is it? And she's like, I don't know. I can't tell you. I can tell you it might be in that closet, though, but that's it.
I think I said too much already. Yeah.
She locks him in the closet, Steve. Ferguson, he might be stuck in the closet for a while, judging on that fashion, but that's a different episode.
And meanwhile, this whole time, Sam is outside with the balloons. Sam is struggling to stay on the ground. You see him rocking already. He's just like, whoa.
I love what all the shit you have to put aside. Who sold a young girl a gigantic thing of helium? I don't it's a pressurized tank of gas, Steve. So no matter what, you hit that thing wrong, it could explode. But she's got that. And in enough quantity to, if her calculations are right, to lift a human being off the ground. And you're right, he's struggling. But then we get one of these cut twos that you talked about where somebody gets thrown off a building and it's clearly like a mannequin or something.
Yeah.
Sam takes
Oh.
off like Mary Poppins, Steve. He doesn't like.
Whoa. Dude, and the way he took off, man, it was just so abrupt, man. That was the moment of this episode. And eventually
He drops. So, you know, I guess job well done on a lot of things. You scared Ferguson enough that he knows that you have homicide in your brain, and you got Sam out of any sort of physical activity because he went, if judging on the speed, he was definitely like 30 to 50 feet up in the air by the time those balloons popped, Steve.
he shot up there. And so plan B is now, I guess Ferguson has a pimple. And I remember as a kid having pimples on your face, it was like you felt like the worst of the worst. And he's at that age where they start sprouting. Somehow, some way, Clarissa has surveillance set up in this kid's room.
I mean, to the point where he's in perfect lighting. It's a extreme close up. I don't know where the camera's hidden, but either Ferguson's completely blind or she's just really good at hiding a small camera because it's there, Steve. I mean, I could tell it was a blackhead. It wasn't
Yeah.
just like a blurry image. He's like he wakes up, which is also like this kid's very image conscious because he comes out of his sleep and just for the simple reason he has a zit.
Yeah.
And if this happened to me, Steve, I would have been up all night every night because I had a lot of zits. Not like crazy, but I definitely like this wasn't a thing. But I mean, Ferguson, he apparently thinks he's a beautiful human being, and just having one zit is just a nightmare. So she's got taped evidence. I don't know what she's gonna do with it, but other than it would be funny just to laugh at because it is. It's just him going. "Ah!"
I get maybe that's the purpose it serves, just so she can get a cheap thrill. Her and Sam laughing at it.
They're gonna be like
And
60 years old people, and she's just gonna have that on a loop in her house, like when he walks in, like, God damn it, Clarissa, you bitch.
yeah, the kid must never look at ceilings, I guess, because it's just she was able to zoom in and everything. This is a very descriptive
Looking down the pipe of the camera, Steve. I mean, he was looking into the lens. Ah!
You could see his nostril hairs. And that was this episode, man. I really missed this show. It didn't last long enough. I believe it lasted only what 3 or 4 seasons.
It's just so ridiculous. It was another like Pete and Pete show where there was no suspension of the whole world was so weird that there was no suspension of disbelief. She could make computer programs with her family involved. It was always like some crazy scheme. Yeah, I was a huge fan of the show. I kind of forgot about the show, period. I think more about like Sabrina when I think of Melissa Joan Hart. And that's crazy because this is where I found out about her.
I think about both of them. Like Sabrina, like for the people who are fans of that, I'm like, man, a lot of them don't know about Clarissa.
That's wild.
Ferguson walked so Lindsay Lohan could run. But also in 1991, SNL is airing the episode with musical guest Fishbone and your host, Jeremy Irons. Fishbone performs Sunless Saturday and Everyday Sunshine. And boxer Donovan Razor Ruddock appears during a weekend update and Buzzpin sketch. The episode itself, it's forgettable. It didn't really have moments, man. And Jeremy Irons, who was Scar, and I remember him in Man in the Iron Mask in '98.
He's
Love
in a
those
lot of
films.
shit. I mean, he's one of those guys. He was like an English, like sort of a Michael Caine-esque. It was like a guy you would get to go in and like do whatever because he's that good. But yeah, Scar for sure. Trying to think, man, you kind of said the ones that are like stand out to me, but he was definitely in like a lot of movies and still is. I think he's still like a working actor, but
He still is. Like I said, nothing really stands out. This is actually a step down from the previous episode with Michael J. Fox. But Razor Ruddock, he does show up on 2 skits. He's on the weekend update, and there was this Buzzpin skit where before I guess we had post-it notes. This was one of those ads where like, oh, I don't have a pen. Let me like put it in somebody's hair and put it in their haircut.
yeah. Wow. Well,
Yeah,
they're not. The fact Razor Ruddock made it on the multiple sketches on SNL is hilarious. That's crazy. But hey,
it also tells you they were digging deep in the crates on
I
this
wonder.
episode.
Yeah, I was like, you got Jeremy Irons. You got an actor. This motherfucker couldn't be in a sketch.
Well, Bob Odenkirk, he did tell a story about how Irons berated him and Rob Schneider over his monologue that they wrote, and how Bob kept an audio recording of this, which he would play to people for years.
Oh my god, that I would love to hear that. That would be great.
Yeah, just getting berated by Jeremy Irons, by the voice of Scar. But in 1992, Australian American basketball player Kyrie Irving is born on March 23rd in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia.
What are your thoughts? You have a unique perspective on this guy, Steve. What do you think of Kyrie Irving?
I do. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I think he's the greatest point guard of all time. Better than Steph Curry, better than Magic Johnson, better than John Stockton. I think this man has all the tools needed to be considered a great in his position, man. Unfortunately, at the same time, I do kind of think the man is a tool. And I think Cleveland Cavaliers fans, we all share the sentiment of fuck Kyrie Irving, because when we still had LeBron, just a year after we won the championship in 2016, he would just leave us. He wasn't a free agent. He wasn't in trade talks. They were planning on having him and LeBron as teammates for quite some time. And he just didn't want to do it anymore because he didn't feel like he should be the co-star. He wants to be the star. And I always bring up the question, Kyrie, how were the playoffs before you teamed up with LeBron? How was the NBA finals before you teamed up with LeBron? Can't answer that? Of course you fucking can't, because the Cavs sucked before LeBron came back. You never had any shot of going to the finals. I know you were an integral part of making us win the championship, but you wouldn't have got there if LeBron James wasn't your teammate. And he regrets it now. He said on different interviews that, like, look, man, I was younger, I was a douchebag, I'm still kind of a douchebag, and LeBron James is the greatest teammate that I will ever have in my life. He didn't say all that, but that's what it is.
I mean, I just think it's funny that, yeah, he does have that syndrome where he's like, no, people need to respect me too. I don't want to take second banana to a guy who's arguably the greatest athlete of all time, period. So that's crazy, but he's good. And I
He's
think
great.
that to be an athlete, and especially in like a point guard in the NBA and be good, like you got to have a lot of like maybe not arrogance, but confidence. Let's say that. And this guy, he's put his foot in his mouth in many ways, and he's fucked his career up in many ways. And the thing I think is a testament to him being so good, he still gets mad chances. Like I think he just got picked up and got a nice contract somewhere else recently. Like he just went someplace, and it's because he is
Dallas.
that good.
He's a maverick, because Mark Cuban, you don't care. Like, hey,
Yeah,
man.
say whatever crazy. I'm already rich. Say whatever you want. You believe in flat Earth? Cool.
We don't have that many Jewish people in Dallas. You'll be all right.
Yeah, you're fine.
And like the things I've seen him do on the court it's like magic. Like he easily has the best handles ever in the history of the game. I'm talking about under the leg, around the back, just shaking the shit out of people, breaking ankles, man. So happy birthday, you fucking douche. You're still great. But in 1993, PM Dawn releases the Bliss album, Vibrations of Love and Anger and the Pondering of Life and Existence, or as I would like to call it, yoga music, elevator music, ambient sleepy time music, accompanied with safe rap lyrics for suburban parents.
Nice. Okay, so mom and dad Geddick would have loved this.
They would have. It would have been easier on the palate than their counterparts.
And Master P Ghetto D, which is
Or
also easy
Dre.
to see because it was orange. I never realized that, Steve. They knew which one. They knew to go at that because it was orange, and I fucked myself. So, wow. I don't like this album cover though. This looks weird. This looks like something on a church bulletin. Well, is it a church bulletin, Steve?
It looks like the artwork of an obituary or something, but there were a couple of tracks that I did appreciate. Beyond Infinite Affections, and they did another song called I Die Without You. which was used on the Boomerang soundtrack. And PM Dawn, they were very unique, especially of their time, because this is 93 and we've already hit the G-Funk era, the Chronic top selling album of 1992. And then these guys, they were like hippie, bohemian-esque, their lyrics were airy and ambient, and you could hear their songs on a Miller Boyett production. Like if the let's say Laura Winslow went to like a little house party or something, they would probably have PM Dawn playing in the background.
Okay. All right. So when you go to like a church lock-in, this is palatable, like church lock-in music.
Something of that nature, man.
Okay.
And they did a who does a duet with Boy George? They're probably the only rappers to do a duet of any sort with Boy George.
Yeah, that's not who I immediately go to for a mashup.
In rap or,
Yeah.
or anything.
Where do you even find that guy? Like a miniature store? Like painting a doll face? It's like, yeah, that's kind of weird, actually. Now I don't like him as much, Steve. You talked me out of it.
Yeah.
It's not like they
Shout
just
out to-
sing fuck music that has no cursing in it.
I wouldn't say fuck music. I would definitely say
What was the name of the
Elevator,
one song you just said? The first one. What was that called?
Beyond Infinite Affections.
I mean, that sounds like you're gonna fuck to it. Beyond Infinite Affections. I mean, I'm getting moist.
Depending on who you're fucking.
Okay.
I guess it could be some fuck music.
I mean, just like, if you got like a nice, like Christian, like some divorcee that's just out just trying to forget, she's maybe 50, 60 years old. Throw on some PM Dawn. Give her a glass of red wine. Or who's in that room with you, Steve?
I mean, the women I fuck, they would be like, what the fuck is this shit?
Put on some little boozy, Steve.
Yeah. Some Future. But also in 93, Ice-T releases Home Invasion. And I like this album. I wouldn't say a lot because his best albums were in the late 80s and into the early 90s. This is still early 90s, but I feel like this was the end of an era for Ice-T as far as doing that hardcore gangsta street shit. And he's talking his shit. He hates cops. I don't fuck with cops. Cops can eat a dick and all of that shit. 9-year-old, 10-year-old Steve is eating this shit up. Yes, fuck the cops. Why should I hate the cops? Oh, because Ice-T says it with conviction. And over time, he gets older. We all do. He's more famously known as the guy who plays a cop.
Yeah. What a difference a decade makes. But yeah, I mean, he had a song called Cop Killer. So, he was on different sides. See, we watched The Wire. It could go one way, it could go the other. Just depending. He wasn't natural police for a while,
Home Invasion. Also in 93, the New York Knicks and the Phoenix Suns get into an epic brawl. And I recall this, man, because it started off, Doc Rivers, who played for the Knicks at the time, he received a hard pick by Kevin Johnson, just like he was blindsided. And that's just what started the melee. And then the benches cleared. This is almost more than a decade before the Malice in Palace, man. And one of the guys for the Knicks who was in street clothes, wasn't even in the game. He hops onto the court and tries to get in the mix.
I mean, I'm sure Charles Oakley was there. He had to be in the mix. He wasn't there yet?
Both Charles were. Barkley and Oakley were there. Patrick was there.
Did they come together? Because you get two Charles, and that's like two negatives form a positive.
Well, the main ones that were trying to do the scrapping were KJ and Doc Rivers, who's now a coach now, and Kevin Johnson's a mayor of Sacramento now, and the stars, the stars of the team, Oakley, Ewing, and Barkley, they were busy like throwing players off of each other, like get the fuck, because I guess they're the captains and shit. So it's like, no, man, we have to.
Was Dan Marley there, just like throwing his whiteness into the mix?
Thunder Dan was there.
Nice.
Which is one of my favorite nicknames.
I didn't know how to pronounce his name for such a long time. You had to hear like an ESPN analyst say it, because if you look at it, you're like, Merle.
There's a J in there. What the fuck?
Oh, fuck. Shout out Dan Marley, wherever you're at. You were killing it for a couple of years.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
that's him
was, man.
struggling there, like in the mix. I
That's
don't
Danny
know.
Ainge,
Oh,
who
okay.
who was also known for being a scrapper.
Damn, dude. These are two teams you don't want to like. The fact Charles Barkley and Charles Oakley were there and there wasn't deaths, that's pretty crazy. So
Y'all survived. And in 1994, Wayne Gretzky sets the NHL record with 802 goals scored. Don't talk about that man enough.
he's the fucking great one, dude. Look at him. Gretzky, get him on a cartoon, get him on a Wheaties box. I didn't like hockey. Give him a ukulele if you watched him on SNL, Steve. It doesn't matter. This guy's an artist.
I think he's the only NHL player to host SNL. Like, there's not, they haven't had a big enough star of this magnitude. It takes a certain level of star power to host that show. And,
Yeah.
that speaks volumes, man. When you're an NHL player and you're important enough for Lauren to think like, okay, this guy is universal. People know who this person is. But yeah, man.
I mean, when your nickname's the Great One, that's pretty baller.
What can you do? And in 1997, WrestleMania 13 airs from Rosemont Horizon in Chicago, Illinois, presented by PlayStation.
And yeah, they got a nice blimp flying around too. Yeah, Rosemont, Illinois, not quite Chicago. They didn't want to go fully into Chicago, so they were like, let's have this one outside.
Oh yeah, that's right. I said Chicago, Illinois. It's Rosemont.
I mean, it's a
Rosemont Horizon.
suburb.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I
Yeah.
think they even say they're from Chicago if you ask, but I was just laughing. I was like, couldn't get this one in there. You didn't want to go deep into Chicago. Fuck it.
This is where they aired WrestleMania 2 as well, or one of the locations of WrestleMania 2, because that was the one where they had 3 different locations, one in New York, one in Los Angeles, and one at the Rosemont.
Okay.
And we get this opening promo, and the main thing that I was looking forward to was Bret Hart versus Stone Cold. And I believe Vince McMahon he's still doing the voiceovers at this time, right? 2 men.
No,
oh,
this
no,
one it was just like that cookie cutter guy that's like, this is the showcase of the immortals.
that guy. I know you.
Very, I mean, it's epic. What he's explaining is like, it's like the gods are rumbling, the earth is crumbling, the showcase of the immortals. It's like we're talking about wrestling, y'all.
2 men destined to destroy each other.
Yeah, but he does a good job setting this up. And this is like, I think really to me, I know we've talked about wrestling in this time period, but like this was like a tentpole thing that while I don't think people are excited about this event, one of the facts that speaks to that is that this is the least selling WrestleMania of all time. So people weren't really clamoring to see this, but what it does do is set up a lot of shit that's going to make a difference even in like a year.
They're about to hit a pivot.
Its attitude is, it's like really like the whole thing is changing now. And they say that they bring up Brett's all the issues because Brett's salty at this point, Steve. He is not happy.
Yeah, and I don't like my Bret Hart salty. And Vince McMahon, like I think you said this before, man, this is his last WrestleMania commentating before, shit hits the fan and he kind of takes on the more public persona of the boss.
Yeah, you can't be a he was always sort of like the guy who was impartial, or at least trying to, which is hilarious because he owned the company. But you can't be what he was in the Attitude Era and be like, wow, here's Billy Gunn really going at it. Like just being a nice guy.
Which is a testament to his savvy, man. Like he could have tried to remain in that role and sweep it under the rug like nobody knows what the fuck is going on, but he like went with the flow, and it's like, well, shit, I'm kind of painted as an asshole now. Well, let's see how big of an asshole I can be.
Let's really go deep. Yeah, and he does it, dude. I mean, I love the fuck out of Vince McMahon, dude. He's so responsible for so much entertainment in my childhood. And the guy just legit figured it out. Whatever this is, he figured it out. he made it, so it's pretty badass.
And he's accompanied by Jerry Lawler and JR, good old JR. And the opening match is a 4 tag team elimination match between the Godwins, Phineas, and what was the other guy? Phineas and
The Godwins, it's Henry O. Godwin and Phineas
Henry,
I. Godwin, and I
Pig and
hated the
Hog.
Godwins. Anybody who's a hillbilly, including Hillbilly Jim, sorry, bud, you're out. I don't like it.
With Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon, the new Blackjacks, Bradshaw and Blackjack Wyndham, and I just don't. And the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrash. You're never going to get a good result when new is placed in front of a tag team. The New Heart Foundation, the New Rockers, the new Blackjacks. Hell, I wasn't even a fan of the original Blackjacks. That shit
Nobody was, Steve, but they were
like,
like, "Hey, Barry Windham, we can't figure Dick out for you. So you're related to some guy that wrestled in the 70s. You're going to be one of the new Blackjacks. And Bradshaw, you're going to be the other one. And we're going to need some ridiculous mustaches on you. That's all we got. Okay." And I was like, first of all, why is Barry Windham not successful, Steve? What was the thing about him? Because it seems like he was given every opportunity, just like Bradshaw, and they just couldn't figure it out.
well, Barry Windham's shine was in the 80s predominantly, man. He was a part of the Four Horsemen, and a lot of people, a lot of horseman purists consider his era with that stable as the best, when it was him, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and Tully Blanchard. And he made a name for himself over there with Jim Crockett Promotion / NWA / WCW. And every time, and Vince does this a lot with a lot of top talent from other regions, man. Once he has you in his company, he will just put some bullshit on you, i.e. Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. Fucking, what's his face? Taz.
Red Rooster, Taz.
So, yeah. And I mean, this is the first match. This is WrestleMania. I guess they thought this was going to be cool having 4 tag teams. I don't like any of these tag teams. But basically the gist of this match is 4 tag teams, all in different corners. You can tag anybody you want to get in, so that's pretty cool. If one of the guys from a team is eliminated, that whole team's gone. And if you win this match, you get a match against whoever the tag team champion is after this event. So, they set it up. But the Headbangers, they're really the ones of note here. I mean, there's a couple things that happen, and I do like seeing Bradshaw, even if he looks like he's a ridiculous porn star that's about to go film. I don't like any of these tag teams, but it is cool to see like the Headbangers do some of their like tag team moves. And one of the Headbangers, the guy who's not the white dude, he looks more like Latin. That guy has a couple moves in this where I was like, this dude went all out.
I believe that's Mosh you're talking about, who would go on to be Beaver Cleavage in a very poor thought of character. It was basically a parody of Beaver Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver, and this was during the Attitude Era.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not going to jive too well, but there's a couple of things. At one point, Bradshaw catches a dude like in midair and just beast mode him, which I thought was cool. He just literally catches a guy. I think it's one of the little like small dudes that, what are they called? Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon. These are just 2 guys, the guys who have real names,
Just, modern jobbers. That's what I call them.
There were guys in Star Trek with red shirts on. They're just there to get killed,
Yeah. And your contestant, Jake Jones. Fuck you, Jake Jones.
I think he's gonna win. I don't know.
No,
I don't think so. But yeah, Mosh uses Thrasher as a human dart at one point, and I thought that was pretty cool. Because I mean, they're headbangers, Steve, so their heads are their weapons.
They do some high flying stuff from here and there, man. And they're supposed to be an updated version of the Rockers. But Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels, you are not Mosh and Thrash. And I think Blackjacks, they get DQ'd, if I'm not mistaken, for being outside of the ring for too long.
Yeah.
or
The
just looking
Blackjacks
utterly
and
ridiculous.
what I think are Canadian, like they're like the Canadian tag team. Phil LaFons and that other guy are just like there, and then they get eliminated because they get counted out, which I think is hilarious. It's like no holds barred unless you're outside the ring for 10 seconds.
Hey, Canucks, Sam Elliott whiskers, hit the showers.
Yeah, no one wanted you. Get out, eh? But eventually, headbangers win. One of them does like I think it's called like the stage dive or something, but they just butt bomb
Yeah.
onto a dude, and it is what it is.
Bombs away. And we get a close up of Captain Lou Albano, Mario brother himself, man, a Hall of Famer in the wrestling world and a pop culture icon, I think you could say, and another Hall of Famer, Arnold Scollin, who's not as well known. But I looked at that, and Arnold Scollin's kind of looking at Captain Lou like,
because I think Captain Lou was fucking shit faced and he's dancing, and that other guy's like, "What the fuck, dude?
Who y'all got me sitting next to?
Who is this?"
Gotta deal with this shit for 3 hours. And
I think even JR says something about him drinking. They're like, I think it's an open bar back there or something, because he's just like,
hey, he's vibing.
oh,
And Honky Tonk Man attends the commentator booth for this next match, and it's Sultan with the Iron Sheik and Bob Backlund versus young Rocky Maivia. And Rocky, he comes out looking very flavorless. By the next WrestleMania, he'll be the smooth talking Johnny Bravo hairdo rock and rock that we've all grown to love. But he hadn't figured it out at this point, because this is a boring fucking match. I'm going to be all the way real with you, Matt. And I think they were even booing. There were a lot of sleeper holds and a lot of chin holds. And Sultan is played by Rikishi, who's The Rock's cousin. And this was done by design, I imagine, because it's like, if we're going to break this new stud into the game, let's have somebody who's close and personal with him to help, guide him along the ropes.
it seemed like people were just sick of Rocky Maivia. I think there was like some oversaturation of him because they were pushing this dude constantly. And I think I did watch like a video kind of explaining, but you can hear people going like, die, Rocky, die. And I think people were just sick of the babyface shit because he is just, they're like stuffing down his legacy. They got Tony Atlas's old ass out there. You got his dad out there. And people were just, people wanted the Stone Cold shit. They didn't want like his dad wrestled. That's awesome. Nobody was like that.
Prayers and vitamins,
motherfuckers. So they're chanting. It is cool. Rikishi's his cousin. I never knew they were related, but I feel like Rikishi's a guy. They gave him some shots. This one, they don't do him any favors because they cover his fucking face up. They got him with Bob Backlund, who looks like Ferguson from Clarissa Explains It All if he grew up and did roids.
plus Cotton Hill.
Yeah, and Iron Sheik. How many fucking managers does a guy need? He's got 2, and Bob Backlund's just there to make people feel uncomfortable, I feel like. That's it.
And all those guys worked with The Rock's dad. So they were very careful and considerate on the upbringing of Rocky Maivia. Like, because Iron Sheik and Rocky Johnson, Rock's dad, they were buddies, same as Bob Backlund. And, of course, Rikishi's his cousin. But like I said, this match was boring. They even had Tony Atlas out there. And once he does this little punching combination, he turns around and he does this like,
his fabulous dance. He's like,
I'm like, what the fuck?
He does a couple of things because he does this thing with like his fingers where I think when he comes in the ring, he was trying to get people to like chant for him, but it just looks like he's like miming he's gonna finger somebody. I was like, dude, what are you doing, bro? But he just won the championship. He actually wins this match in like a very boring way. He just like rolls the dude up.
Schoolboy roll up.
And then when he wins, he wins. Nobody's really excited. And then all of the Sultan and his boys start beating the shit out of Rocky. And then this is where his dad comes in. His dad's old as shit. He's still yoked as fuck. Actually, suplexes the Iron Sheik. But I think, people just were sick of good guy shit. And they tried to bring Rock up in like this like golden boy ultimate baby face, and people were just like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Wrong era, boy.
cool to
Wrong
see
era,
his
my
dad.
boy.
Like, it is a cool moment. Like, if you think of it from his perspective, he got to be at a WrestleMania, wrestle with his dad, and they're like
Yeah.
hugging, and like his dad raises his arm and shit. That's got to be one of his. I
That's
mean, I would only assume one of his greatest memories of all time. But it is what it is.
definitely.
This was on his way to greatness. So,
I like how Jerry said, his stupid dad, I bet he doesn't even have a ticket.
dude, Jerry Lawler has some fucking bangers on this fucking. He went for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
love
he's
Jerry.
constantly he shits on. Well, we'll get to it, but people were clamoring. People wanted more Rock. This Rocky Maivia shit, it wasn't gonna last too long.
Even Hogan switched it up, and he's the poster child for that kind of baby face. So
Yeah.
it's like once he turned tides, it's like everybody needed like this. This is not going to work anymore.
You
Like
gotta
smiling at
say a
fans.
cuss word at least. Do some. Grow some facial hair. You got to change it up.
Grow your beard. And backstage, we're having an interview by Doc Hendricks. He's interviewing Hunter Hearst Helmsley, still known by that at this time, and China, who's just not speaking.
Was correct me if I'm wrong, but when Hunter Hearst Helmsley first came out, he affected like an English accent, did he not?
Very. He was blue blood, the
Yeah,
blue blood from
exactly.
yeah.
So he's lost the English accent, but he's smelling himself, Steve. And the one thing that he keeps getting asked is, "What's the deal with you in China, bro?"
Like, yeah. What is she?
And he doesn't give a great promo. He's trying to avoid the whole China question, and but that's really, I think, what the world wants to know, Steve, is what's the deal with that? What are you guys up
You
to?
hitting that, or like is she hitting you?
Yeah, right, dude.
And so they're introduced, and he's still coming out to that blue blood shit, that classical piano, and Triple H in China, and then Goldust and your girl Marlena, they come out.
Yeah. I do want to point out one thing before we get that. Because we're going to talk about China a little bit more, I think. But like, there are some great audience signs about if China has a dick or not in the audience. Like, there are some great signs that I noticed. So, and this is the China. This is like A1 China. This is the first version we got. It looks like she's related to Sergeant Slaughter because of the chin. And
That damn
she's
chin.
yoked to the gills, Steve. I don't know what she was on, what that mix was, but this is you took too much. Okay, you're nearing that Nicole Bass level of chick where it's like I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore.
Yeah, you're like one protein shake away from looking like Jesse the Body Ventura.
Dude, she's yoked. Goldust comes out with Marlena. I mean, what more can we say about Marlena? God bless this woman. There's a little bit of some heat going on right now because I guess Triple H tried to get Marlena into the fold. He wanted to have
Can't
a
be mad at him.
three-way, and I don't blame him. But Goldust is taking that personally. He comes out pretty cool at first, pretty Goldusty, but shit gets weird real quick, Steve, because he's pissed off. So we don't know. Really, the vibe is, there's a wrestling match going on, but China, I want to know what she's going to do to Marlena because everyone's concerned about that. Like, this chick's going to rip her apart.
Yeah, she's capable, man. And Golda, he comes out with the gold wig on some like neo-punk Rick James type shit. I don't know. And
What is this? Where did this? Does he ever get on a show and say, "This is how I came to Goldust"? Is there an explanation? Was there any inspiration that he pulled from?
I'm sure there has to be, man.
He's like, I wanted to look like the Oscar statue if he did gangbangs. Like, it doesn't make sense at all. I would love to know what the thought process was, but really, Steve, Goldust wants to take it out of Hunter Hearst Helmsley's ass. And I'd be more concerned about China because at this point in both of their careers, China is much more physically intimidating than every wrestler that's in the mat right now. Hunter Hearst Helmsley or Goldust. Goldust looks like he had a beer right before he came out, dude.
He looks like he's
Weird.
built like Sandman. And this match, it went way too long. It was 14 minutes and 29 seconds, and halfway through the match, Goldust's makeup is smearing. His gold onesie is unzipped, and I can only take like somebody hurry up and pin somebody.
I mean, I think it gets in Triple H's eye multiple times because he's like, it looks like he got fucking bukkake by Oscars, Steve. He just blasted. Yeah, and at this whole match, China is not moved at all. She's grilling Marlena. Marlena is smoking a stogie, stressed out, like she's waiting for test results. And at that, like someplace in like near the end, China starts to make her move. Triple H inadvertently like knocks Marlena into China, and China does like the most strange looking bear hug / backiotomy that I've ever seen. I don't really get what happened, but
just ragdolls the fuck out of her because like Goldust, he was standing at the apron kind of scolding China. They're having a back and forth, China and Marlena. He's looking over the rope like, hey, leave my woman alone, blase blah. And then Triple H, he ambushes from behind, knocks Goldust into Marlena because he picked her up onto the apron, knocks her down, and then that's when China ragdolls her. And so now that he's ambushed, he turns around, gets the pedigree, Triple H gets the pin, and Shawn Michaels can't figure out a laptop.
Yeah, and also Goldust, you know, Marlena's writhing in agony on the mat, clearly from some sort of insane back injury that she was given when China bear hug / like just shook the shit out of her. He ignores all medical evidence and just moves the body, moves her, and just wants to get her in the back so him and her can have weird, gross, smeary gold sex. Just looking at Triple H, that's got to be a nightmare.
Put it in my thresher.
Yeah, I do like Shawn Michaels. I mean, this guy is not going to be able to be it's not even that fast. I don't even think he can read, dude.
He's typing like a convict, man. Like you ever been in a library when a motherfucker, you could tell a motherfucker just got freshly released, trying to get a job and shit, trying to.
Hey, man. Hey, man, you know, what's a resume? God damn, dude. I don't got enough time, bro. Yeah. You might not be able to read though. I'm concerned for Sean's well-being at this point.
He's trying to find his smile.
So now we go to a tag team match that nobody really wanted. But we got the British Bulldog and Owen Hart are the current tag team champions.
Yeah.
Owen's coming off some slammies that we don't know whether he won them, whether he stole them. He's really proud of them though. And I think British Bulldog's not really feeling that. They're not getting along, you know?
And they're not putting respect on the tag team champs because they can't even do a full introduction without JR stopping them halfway through the aisle. Like, so who's the real leader here?
Hey, British Bulldog, what do you think about these comments that Owen said that you ate shit? And Owen's like, hey, you're a wannabe cowboy. Shut the fuck up. We're about to go wrestle. So we're cool. Also, check out these slammies because these things are badass.
And he tells them British Bulldogs has 2 belts. He not only is the tag team champ, he's also the European champ.
And he's fucking my sister, and that's fine. That's cool. We're all having fun, and I got him to cut the braids off, y'all. So that's a thing too. He's helping. I'm improving this guy. But you're right. Like fucking JR, you work for TMZ, dude? Jesus Christ. Like let him get to you sit by the ring. You could have just waited, dog. He came out like blindsiding him from the crowd.
Okay, Harvey Weinstein, what the fuck?
Oh God, he doesn't like these guys, but they're fighting Mankind and Vader, which this is a terrifying combination.
It is.
And they're even saying one thing I thought was hilarious. They're like Vader in the best shape of his life. I was like, what shape? He looks pretty much the same shape. I don't know. Is he putting up more weight or what? You guys know.
What kind of shape was he in before? Because I thought he was always a fat dude. But Like he's one of those fat guys that we respect, just like Bam Bam Bigelow, because they were always agile. They were like Chris Farley's in wrestling, man. You know, despite being like girthy in size, they would hit the top rope, man, and do those aerial assaults and shit. Like, whoa.
Plus, he'd throw those like 5-punch combinations and drop you, where he'd go to the body and stuff. Vader is a badass. He's terrifying, and he's paired up with Mankind, who at this point is crazy enough to just mandible claw people until they're dead and then start screaming and ripping his hair out. So I always was afraid of Mankind because I was like, that guy's, I don't want to meet that guy. Mick, you're a badass, but you acted way too well.
And this is where Jerry's giving out zingers after zingers, man. Because at some point, I guess they're talking about Queen Elizabeth, and he says to either Vince or Jim Ross, "Your favorite queen is RuPaul."
He also has the best description of British Bulldog I've ever heard. I couldn't put it better. He's like, "Oh yeah, get the big, strong, dumb guy," and I was like, "That's exactly it. That's why it doesn't work." So the king is just out there eviscerating people, Steve, just laser focused.
I'm gonna finish my red wine for Owen Hart and British Bulldog.
I mean, just some straight Owen Hart, especially in this match, you can see how awesome he was at wrestling, just period. Because he's out there fucking just drop kicking Vader from the top rope, getting up, just putting people in crazy moves. And I mean, this, other than British Bulldog, all the talent in the world in the ring, dude. But
and he has this crispy enziguri kick to Mankind to the back of his skull. The enziguri is like when they catch your leg and then you whip around with the other leg and hit him in the back of the head. And that shit was like a sweet chin music. Like,
and then this is another one, Steve. This is an event filled with just straight weird losses because Mankind, eventually this match ends with Mankind just throwing the mandible claw on British Bulldog and just won't let it go. Like he gets counted out. They're out. They might have gone to a commercial break for all we know. Vader's trying to get them off, but Mankind's shoving that disgusting finger that I can only assume was buried deep in his own ass into, I don't know. But he killed British Bulldog, I think. He killed a guy.
But my favorite part in the match, though, is when Jerry Lawler found out that the Hart parents were there. He's like, "Oh, the parents are here." When he said that, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna have some shit, some fucking heat."
I mean, but look, I think Stu Hart's dead, Steve. He hasn't reacted. At one point, he looks like shocked. There's a camera right by his face. He's like, and that's the only pop he gets. He watched his son get his ass whooped. He watched his son-in-law get his ass whooped. King's just drilling him with like heat, and the guy is, I think he's dead. He might be asleep. I don't know, but it's weird.
Hey, CTE existed way longer than what we like since we've known about it, man. Jerry's like, "They're here? Does Stu even know where he is? Hey, Stu, a match is going on. Your son is up there."
Also, I just have to point out that I don't know if Paul Bearer knows how to clap because at one point something happens and he looks at the crowd and just like claps like he's one of the clumps, Steve. Like
very odd. He's an odd duck.
So, nobody wins. They lose or they don't lose the titles. So they're still the champs. Vader, Mankind, they're going to go on to do something crazy. We all know that. Vader, he's 450-pound eating machine. God only knows what happened at a buffet after this event. So,
and the only person alive in that whole match still is Mankind.
That's wild. I thought he was dead off of the Hell in the Cell, Steve. So, I mean, this guy went through all that and still outlasted all these guys. I mean, that's crazy, dude. Especially with Owen Hart, because you wonder, like, if he just kept going, especially in that era. He was, like, had a bunch of pop. He was with the Nation of Domination and stuff, and
the Blue Blazer shit.
Like, what would have happened,
But yeah, man. Up next, we have Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, but not without a promo. And it starts off with Bret whining Was screwed by Shawn Michaels, was screwed by Stone Cold Steve Austin. In a couple months, I'll be screwed by Vince McMahon in Montreal.
Yeah, and
He
he's
didn't tell.
pushing Vince. He's pushing his boss, Steve. I mean, these are grounds. This is grounds for firing right then and there. I don't give a fuck what you think. And he's salty, Steve. Salty also because a man named Steve Austin saying a lot of things that he doesn't like either. You know, this isn't the old school. This isn't the old school guy. This isn't the guy Brett's familiar with. He doesn't like this because Stone Cold's like, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Stop bitching.
Since you've been back, you've done nothing but cry.
Yeah, dude. And this is vintage Stone Cold. We also get an appearance by another legend of WWE and UFC fame, a one Ken Shamrock, who in this is a referee because the man knows submissions, the man knows fighting. He's not going to be intimidated by either of these dudes. And he's not going to wear a shirt that's properly sized for himself because his referee shirt is literally made of a material that is, I mean, to say it's skin tight is to really just, you're underselling it, Steve. It's weird.
This is something Doherty would wear.
I mean, and it makes it worse because it's a ref shirt, so there's vertical lines, and it's like he's too bulky. I mean, the guy's eating horse meat or something. He's roided to the gills. And I mean, when he says he's not going to be intimidated, I don't doubt it because he looked like he was ready to whoop the guy's ass who was interviewing him pre-match. You know, he's ready to go at this point.
Looks like he'd been eating horse meat and shark meat. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, he comes out with that swagger, that head swinging, that motherfucking Chi-Town is feeling you, boy.
Even has glass shattering in front, real fucking glass, Steve. Yeah. That's just a straight baller. I mean, to have it, I mean, it's Brett has to walk out through the fucking destruction on his way out. So you're getting into his head too.
But did you notice how Brett, when he came out, he steps over the glass? It's like a little
Brett, because I can't, I'm going to cut my feet. I got to give these kids these glasses, you son of a bitch. Which I do still love. I mean, at this point, I was more of a Stone Cold fan. But if Bret Hart approaches me, gives me glasses, even now, Steve, I'm going to start melting.
It's the best, man.
Bret!
And when he reaches the ring, like just like you said, Ken Shamrock, he's not intimidated. Stone Cold don't give a fuck if you fought in the octagon or the polyhedron. I don't even know if that's a shape, but fuck, he don't care. Let me tell you
about a damn Ultimate Fighting Championship. It's called my backyard, you little pussy ass motherfucker. Come get some. What? Yeah, I mean, and this, he still isn't at full Stone Cold. He's now like settling in, but just it's dripping off him, Steve. He's outgrowing the WWE right now. Like he's gonna be the thing. We don't have DX. We got all these old heads, and even the cool guys like a Shawn Michaels. You know, he's fucking on the shelf. He's hurt himself. So fucking Steve Austin came in and fucking just whooped everybody into shape, and I love this.
I feel like King of the Ring, the seed was planted. Right now, where we're at, it's a watering process, and he's watering every Monday night, every pay-per-view. He's watering that seed, and it's sprouted. Because the people, Chi-Town, Rosemont, they're giving him a pop.
I mean, this is the meeting of two minds. I mean, Bret Hart was Bret Hart, dude. Bret Hart was the thing too. He was the show. I don't even know at this point because it took me a while to get into WWE again. I went full WCW for a while, but this match is. I don't know whether they planned it as such, but this is sort of like when there was like a hard line to me when the shit was like, all this old shit's done now. Now it's going to be more of the Stone Cold shit. And, you know, also in this match, I think we just need to mention, you can't get DQ'd. You can't get counted out. I think you have to submit. Like you can't even
It's a submission match.
So if the dude's not like King points something out or JR does, they're like, well, what happens if you get knocked out? You just fucking putting the
Mm.
sharpshooter on some unconscious dude. So that doesn't make sense. That's not going to matter. But I just was like, they made this match as long as possible. And that's what this is. This is like a test of wills match. What was those one matches that Bret Hart was always a part of? Like
Iron Man.
yeah, that shit. Where it's like, it's an hour and 5 in. It's like, these people should be asleep at this point.
In the match, it's 22 minutes and 5 seconds, man.
But they put it all out, Steve. I mean, both dudes, like Stone Cold gets it in. They set up Bret Hart to like fuck Stone Cold's leg up. He's like this tactician dude. He's like an assassin. So for a lot of the match, Stone Cold whoops that ass. Bret Hart turns the table. He starts going in on Steve's. He has like a leg brace on, so they're making it out like he's just like shredding his knee.
Like he's
to set him
vulnerable.
up. Yeah, for the sharpshooter. A couple of notable things that I saw that I remembered. At one point, Bret Hart puts Austin in like a figure 4, but his legs are like around the turnbuckle and he's hanging off of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that really felt like, but I believe that one.
It looked like it hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, that shit looked crazy as fuck. And again, Bret Hart's putting on a show. Is his dad awake to actually know about it? I don't know, but they're there.
And Bret Hart, he's got that swag too, man, because he comes out with the Fonzie, got the glasses and shit. And another thing that stands out, just like the figure 4 ring post move, the beginning of the match, when Bret Hart finally enters the ring, he stands there for a second. Stone Cold just looks to the side like, and gets to it.
Yeah, he
just
spears his ass, dude.
He spears him and just fucking.
Also, we have to mention that really right at the beginning of this match, they go into the crowd and not just like over that little metal thing. Stone Cold whoops Bret Hart's ass up the stairs, and then Bret Hart whoops his ass back down the stairs. And they have people like slapping him in the face. Dude, one guy does something weird with Bret Hart's hair where I was like, that guy's lucky he didn't get fucking punched in the mouth, because there's some people in the audience that are taking liberties where it's fucking, they're crazy brave to even have done what they did. You know,
the stuff that happened during the Attitude Era, like they set up things to prevent that from happening now, because they have plants at some of these shows now. I don't know if they've always had them, but they definitely have plants now, because like some of the guys you see up front sometimes holding a sign or whatever, like they're actually put there by the company. And whenever they have these kind of like out into the crowd fights and matches, like the people around them are tactfully placed there sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but
well, I would say
sometimes.
definitely for like most of it, because it's easy to contain, because usually a match they go like right over that little metal barricade thing that's always around, like, keeping the crowd away, and they'll go right there. They'll do a couple of things. It happened a bunch of times in this, and then they'll just go back over this. I mean, they go up to the fucking rafters to the second concession stand, get a drink, and come back down, Steve. I mean, they really go all out. And just to watch all the white trash in the crowd, they're like, they can't believe there's no phones to take, pictures of. They're just like, dude, reacting. And I would have been losing it.
Every move is crisp. Like nothing was flawed, man. Every punch, every counter punch, every backbreaker, Russian leg sweep, like everything is a perfect 10, man. And like there was a point when they're outside fighting and Stone Cold has the stairs in his hand and he's about to drop it on Bret Hart's head. Bret Hart kicks him in the gut, and the momentum that Stone Cold had, it all falls back. Like everything just legit looks real, man. And like I applaud both of these guys for just making everything convincing. Like if you just watched this match, you would have thought those guys really hated each other, like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart in real life.
Oh, for sure. And also that, like, if you watch this and you're just like an alien that doesn't know anything and just are like, okay, this is wrestling, you would think this is real. I mean, for real, and we'll get into that later, but like at this point in the match, Bret Hart gets the drop on Stone Cold, and like I said, he just starts shredding his knee. He's got a leg brace on, so in my little dumbass head, I was like, Stone, he can't even walk. Like this guy, his ankle gets like put in between a folding chair, and Bret like stomps it.
Yeah.
Bret really sort of, it's like if Captain America went evil. You know, it's like that moment where you're like, dude, you're going like crazy, bro. Like,
Bro, like you're my hero. Like you're being a big meanie, Brett.
You're fucking going crazy. So he shreds what I thought Steve Austin's knee. I'm thinking this is over with. Sharpshooter, we're done. Steve Austin just is like basically badasses himself out of a leg injury. His leg miraculously heals, and then he gets the drop on Brett, Steve. I mean, he heals himself, he gets in, and then Brett really starts going heel. He takes a fucking, is it a bell?
A bell, yeah, because Austin, I think he has a microphone cord that he pulled from the commentating table, and he starts strangling Brett on the apron. And Brett has a ring bell handy to just like bash him, and like he backs off, and then that's when he starts his melee. At some point, Stone Cold, he does this thing where I call stomping a mud hole, which I always love in a Stone Cold match, where he just his kicks and that turnbuckle, he slams him into the fucking turnbuckle.
Though, because I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. And to be honest with you, it's why Bret Hart's punches to me are the best. They know how to like stomp correctly and time it.
Yeah,
where you're like, that man's dead. You know, you believed it. They know how to put on a show, and they're killing this for real.
And at some point, they have a close-up of Bret Hart's daughter who was in attendance, I guess. And she's covering her face. And Jerry Lawler says, I think she just wants to cover her ugly face.
Oh my Stu Hart also at that moment, near death. It looks like he's dead. No, his eyes are closed, I think, Steve. He gets shocked by a gigantic camera in his face. He's just like, oh. Helen, concerned. But her son, you know, takes it to him. At some point, Steve Austin gets opened up. I don't think it's the bell. I think it looks like it's when he like goes crazy and like sprints at Bret Hart into like the announce chairs. But he gets opened up wide, Steve. He probably bladed himself. God knows, but
I didn't see the leaking until he got sent into the steel rail, and then like Bret Hart came over and started pounding him in the face, and then that's when I saw it. I don't know if it was before that, but man, blood is spewing, and there's a superplex that Stone Cold does right before the whole microphone cord strangle, and the way he landed, it didn't look safe. Because Brett took a hard fall and Stone Cold landed like at the nape of his neck.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy, like, if you really think about mechanically the wrestling moves, even those basic, a suplex, you've seen it 1,000 times, but you can catastrophically injure yourself just doing that. It almost happened to me doing it on a trampoline as a kid.
You could really fuck some shit up, man.
Yeah.
And after Stone Cold gets hit with the ring bell, he's into a stupor, and that gives Brett the opportunity to slap on that sharpshooter. And Austin, he's not submitting. With blood spewing out of his forehead, he breaks out of it, kind of.
It's never happened, sorta. Steve. It's never happened. Ever. Not in that way. Not with a guy that's lost 8 liters of blood at this point. I mean, this shit looks insane. And this is, this is a moment that if they had like King of the Ring thing, that's iconic, right? Yeah. But at one point when he's trying to power out of this, he's like, and blood's running down his face. He's in a sharpshooter. He's not tapping. He's trying to get out of it. Like you said, he does once. I mean, that image of the blood coming down his face, that close-up they get, that's like a logo for wrestling. Like that was something that I feel like they showed on intros or like regularly for decades after that. This is like one of those moments, dude. So
it's like Hogan slamming Andre. It's that iconic of an image, man.
Exactly. And like he does, and I feel like also this made people respect him as much as Bret Hart as a wrestler, but you were just like, I actually like this guy more because he's like showing all this heart, and Bret's acting like a dick.
He's being very whiny and pissy, and this
Yeah.
other guy, he's a straight shooter, man, and he sort of breaks out of that sharpshooter, but Bret, he locks that motherfucker right back on with blood still spewing, gushing out of Austin's forehead, and Austin is struggling to the point where he just fucking passes out unconscious.
Yeah, a bloody mess. I mean, it looks like he was shot in the face. You know, they're putting pressure on him. The shit is like spewing out of his head. It looks insane. And Vince McMahon was like,
In his head, yeah, but like outwardly he's saying, oh, the kids don't need to be seeing this. I think he mentioned something like that, where like we don't endorse this kind of activity in our, like, motherfucker, you are all about this type of shit.
yeah. And, Ken Shamrock, who is the ref, who was only there just to really watch stuff. He gets in there. You could tell he's excited because his shirt's so goddamn tight. You can see his chest beating and his heart beating in his chest. He eventually
Jeez.
calls the match when it looks like Stone Cold has died from blood loss.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bret wins, celebrates, just doesn't really even pay attention to Stone Cold's bloody dead body. He celebrates, and not a medic comes out, Steve. I didn't see a medic. I don't even know there
Yeah.
were any.
Right.
So Bret leaves. He's won the match, but that's really about it. The hearts and minds of the audience, we all were loving Stone Cold, concerned about him. And then we find out, I believe, that Stone Cold refused medical help, and he actually just whooped the shit out of a guy who tried to help him too, I believe. Like, he's that badass.
Well, before that happens, Bret does his celebrations. He hits every corner, does the celebratory shit, but he returns to Austin, and he does even more damage. He goes after those legs, man, and he does damage, and he's like, "Fuck this shit! Fuck your leg, motherfucker!" And then Shamrock, he tries to stop him, and he ends up giving him a belly to back suplex. Like, look, bro, I tried to.
He was lifting to a 5-pound weight, Steve. It looked like there was no effort in what Ken Shamrock did at that. I was like, he could have thrown him out of the arena, like through the air.
With the pinky.
So you didn't think to step in maybe a little bit before Austin lost half of the blood in his body, maybe?
And after that, Bret didn't want any of those problems. So he makes his exit out of that ring. And for the first time since the 80s, Bret Hart is a bad guy.
Boo. He's not done yet, Steve. He isn't done.
Oh, no.
So Bret salty is at all hell. Steve Austin, he's gonna be salty. God knows what happened in the aftermath of this. They probably had a beer and laughed about it. I would love to know what that was like. Where's that videotape at? Where Austin comes out, he's like, God damn, I didn't think I was gonna bleed that goddamn much. Jesus Christ.
Man, probably the momentum and hearing the Austin chant as he's hobbling to the back, that probably like pushed him. Like, man, he probably didn't even feel the pain,
dude.
At least it wasn't.
He was like, and he could drink it in too, because he was just by himself, like walking back. That must have been wild, dude. I bet he probably did go backstage and was like, "Holy fuck,
they love me, man.
Diamond Stud. That was the best I ever did before this shit."
And the ring at the same time, it's left looking like a Picasso painting.
Yeah, dude. Fuck wrestling after this for two reasons. You got to follow that, and you better not have any open wounds on your body, because whatever he has, you're going to have. I don't give a fuck how much shit they put on that mat. That's crazy.
Oh, that's gross. And now Todd Pettengill is interviewing Nation of Domination, and Farouk, he has the company of D'Lo Brown, Crush, Savio Vega, and Clarence Mason, and a rap group by the name of PG-13, JT Ice, and Wolfie D.
JT Ice, dude, that's so white. It pains me, dude. I don't like this. It's
Which one,
cool
JT Ice or
JT
Wolfie D?
Ice, or what's the other guy's name? Wolfie D? Wolfie D, dude? That's the best you could do. I mean, even the bars suck, but
the bars are not great.
The Nation of Domination at this point, the coffers are low, Steve. They don't have the support yet of everyone. They're working on it. They just haven't gotten the donation. So PG-13 or whatever the fuck these people are called. That's the best that they can do for WrestleMania.
I
Thought it was
appreciated
I
it.
thought it was Everlast, but it's PG-13, so it is what it is.
Would you call him Neverlast?
So, but Farouk at this point, he's starting the nation, and he's gone from just being just a dude wrestling. He's gone militant, Steve.
Yeah, his prior gimmick was a Spartan. He had this whole like Spartan gimmick where like that shit had to go. We're getting to the late 90s, man. And like you said, he's militant now, and he's got the nation around him. And he's about to have a match accompanied with Crush or Savio Vega, and I believe what was Crush in that match, or was he just there?
It says the thing that I got said Crush, Farouk, and Savio Vega on the team. And D'Lo
Okay.
Brown's there just in his just like Islam's finest collection. He's just in like a tuxedo.
Yeah.
He's there. He's there for the job interview.
He's not a full-time performer yet. Yeah. And I do like this rendition. I appreciate the Mark Henry rock, the later version of Nation, but like I like the bars from PG-13. They're not great, they're not even good, but it just adds something. It adds a little nutmeg to the hot cocoa. I don't know.
It's just some pizzazz, dude. I mean, and also it's more bodies to get fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
There's that.
But I do like the Nation of Domination. I always just having Ron Simmons as like the leader, it works because that dude I mean, it looks like that character Angry Man from Martin if you gave him all of the testosterone possible. It's just like a roided up dude with that attitude because he's just angry, Steve. And God knows he's been wrestling for decades, and this is when it's all come to a head. He can't take it anymore, so he had to go to Islam just to really just figure it out. Man.
And they're about to have a Chicago street fight match against Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal with Ahmed Johnson,
who the stiffest wrestler I've ever seen. But one, he gets his own LOD spikes, which I didn't even see that. I just clocked the real LOD with those chromed out joints. That, I mean, that's when you reach like the ultimate level in a video game LOD.
Yeah. Super Saiyan Hawk and Animal, and like they probably got Ahmed Johnson's from the WWF store.
I mean, dude, he looks the part so much. He looks badass. He's yoked as fuck, but it's just like every time you point a camera at him, whatever he's doing is the stiffest thing that you could possibly imagine. Like, even he does a couple of things in this, and I feel like they're trying to push him. They even get like LOD to raise this guy's arms and get the pop of LOD to add to it, but it's just whatever it was, nobody wanted to buy it, dude. It's just like, you can't sell this. I'm not buying this product.
It's got to be in you, not on you. And this match has trash cans, 2x4s, crowbars, fire extinguishers, and parking signs. And Public Enemy is nowhere around.
Yeah. Missed opportunity there, but PG-13 serves their purpose. I think LOD at one point just suplexes him the fuck out of the ring because nobody wants to hear the raps. It's crazy to me you said that you liked it. That's crazy, Steve. And I know you're a nice guy and all, but that's wild.
It's strength in numbers.
Them suplexing him the fuck out of the ring and getting him out of our lives. But, there's a couple things in this. It's not a great match. You get LOD, we get a Hawk and Animal, and that's what I wanted. There's a hilarious amount of random weapons that are just brought out because this is a street fight. But what I don't think is great is that at one point, Ahmed Johnson just gets a noose put around his neck. And it's just like, if you screen capture just that, it's not a good look, Steve.
It's so not a good look. And I'm putting this solely on Vince McMahon because he can stop and start whenever in his company, however, and just that, like you said, just that image isolated, it's not a good look, especially around a black man. It doesn't help that two other black men outside of the ring, D'Lo Brown and Clarence Mason, are assisting in the choking of this black man in this noose. And
And the news goes around
It's
other people's necks, Steve. It's not like it's just that, but it doesn't
yeah.
matter because for a good solid 3.5 minutes, Ahmed Johnson is on the ground writhing in agony with a very white noose. It's really easy to see too.
Very
And it's
easy.
just like, all right, like somebody should have just been like, what are we taking out there? Garbage cans, check. Got a couple of brooms, got a 2x4. Noose, what? No, take
Wait,
that out. Or at least you can just untie it, Steve. Untie it. It doesn't have to be a noose. If it's
it looked like a tight noose.
still fucked up, but it's not as crazy as just pulling out a straight pre-tied noose that's ready.
Like a
Go,
pre-road,
man.
like a pre-road swisher.
I
Like
mean,
you go to the fucking herbal stores in Los Angeles. They got pre-road joints. Hey man, come here for your pre-road nooses. Like
Pat
it
Patterson
just doesn't.
ass was backstage like, yeah, I can't believe
Yeah.
it.
I don't like his big black ass anyway. Fucking.
Oh my god.
It serves no
dude.
purpose because all of these items, okay, it's a street fight in a wrestling match. Like all of these things, like garbage can, that could be found in the street. A 2x4 randomly could be found in the street. A street sign, the street sign is in the street. Fucking noose. You don't see a noose nowhere in the
Yeah,
fucking
what
street.
street
Vince
are
Mc-
you in, dude? Is this
Pat
Alabama?
Patterson.
What the fuck? Like, also, I do like at one point, also after the noose debacle that goes on the rest of the match, because nobody thinks to just throw it away. Just a bus tub. Like if you worked at a restaurant, what they put the dirty plates in, there's just an empty bus tub that comes out. And also,
Because
to add to
why not?
Ahmed Johnson's legacy, because there's random weapons everywhere, Steve. I don't know if you clocked this. At one point, he finds nunchucks, but you can see he clearly doesn't know what the fuck to do with nunchucks, so he looks at them and goes, and just tosses them. I was like, yeah, because he knew he's going to fuck himself up with them, but it was funny
Let's
as
pretend
fuck. 'Cause
nobody
he looks
saw
at him,
this.
he's like, yeah, fucking
Yeah,
fuck that.
hard pass. And like I gotta give D'Lo Brown pops, man, because like when it comes to like doing sells of moves, he's like not too far removed from Ric Flair because Ahmed Jackson, he kicks him in the groin, and D'Lo's this shit is so comical, bro. Like he puts his all into selling someone's move. Like, and that was a simple kick to the groin, and he was like, "Oh."
I
And I was
mean,
like,
that's
man,
all
maybe
he
did.
had, Steve. He was just there to look good, basically. You know, he was there with just his suit on, and this is pre what I thought was a bulletproof vest D'Lo. Yeah, where he's doing that. That's my D'Lo, the pre-neck
Take a sip
break
for
D'Lo.
D'Lo.
Hell yeah, dude. And you know, at the one also thing I got to point out is Nation of Domination, right? A bunch of militant black dudes, but then there's this guy who looks like a white supremacist who's on their squad. Who was that? Like tall white dude with the long hair.
Crush,
That's Crush.
Crush, yeah. Like he's R.I.P. He was a part of the demolition when they had that 3-man group when Axe wasn't around.
yeah.
Like he was starting to get like sickly or some shit. He couldn't perform like he used to, so they added a third person and Crush. And yeah, so it became Axe, Smash, and Crush. And then once Demolition like disbarred or whatever, he became Kona Crush with a Hawaiian gimmick. And then like he did that for a while. He had a angle with Doink and Macho Man in his last days of WWF. Went away for a while, and then he came back as Crush, but militant with Nation of Domination.
Well, he just looks like one of Hillbilly Jim's friends in this. Like he just is. It doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit with all the rest of the vibe. But whatever. Eventually, he gets the bricks beat out of him. LOD gets their move on. They get to throw like whatever that move is called, where up on the shoulders.
Doomsday Device.
Yeah, and LOD wins the match. Ahmed Johnson's there. They even, like I said, they try to transfer energy to him. They're like, look, this guy's cool. Look, Ahmed Johnson.
Swag.
Not a goddamn thing, Steve.
If we touch him, Hawk, will he get the swag?
No, I guess not.
No. Look at it. His trunks are up his booty cheeks. He's got
yeah, dude. And that was through the last 5 minutes of the match. And then the whole celebration, dude, you can feel your ass cheek out, bruh.
Bro, like they set this
Somebody
man up
help
for
him out.
failure.
JR, just fucking whisper, put your ass cheek away.
Yeah.
It's out, Steve. I mean, this guy,
Dude,
like, dude, come on.
Every Ahmed Johnson match we cover, like it bothers me because it happens every Ahmed Johnson match, bro. Like they set this man up for failure. I
mean,
get
the
it.
guy's
He can't work a
caked up.
mic.
So, congrats. You got a great ass, but get some shorts that work for that. You can't be fucking caked up, fucking letting that shit come out because it was literally out. It's like there's kids in the front row, bruh.
There's straight men watching this. It catches you off guard.
This ain't Magic Mike. I can't fucking see this shit. This is crazy.
I wasn't prepared, man. You need to give out like disclaimers before this happens. Like you're typing on your laptop, you're watching some LOD Nation Domination, and you look. I'm like, oh shit, another fucking cheek. Damn it, Ahmed.
That's great you mentioned it, Steve, because my last note for the match was Ahmed is walking around with one ass cheek out for 5 minutes. I mean, it's like 5 minutes.
And he feels comfortable doing it because he doesn't fix it. And maybe, okay, you're in the presence of hundreds of thousands of people and millions watching at home. Like it kind of feels awkward to just kind of fix yourself. But like, dude, I would feel even more awkward with that thing just riding up my fucking crack.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. Thank God Al Pacino from Heat isn't there because he'd be fucking screaming right now. Great ass. I mean, dude, LOD though. Hey, Hawk, fucking say something, dude. Go help dude out. When somebody on the football field's shoulder pads out, you go over, you help the dude out. I'm not saying grab his drawers and fucking throw him down, but just like be like, yo, dude, you're fucking ass. Like, let him adjust.
Your thong is riding you, brother. Like, I appreciate how Hawk does the double doomsday device because, like, usually it's just one arm on one opponent. He has PG-13 up in the air and he does it both, and he lands on his feet. So fucking gangster.
Yeah, and thank God PG-13. I never saw him again, and I don't care for him. So goodbye.
Because Matt, then you might know what it's like. And now we're introduced to Shawn Michaels. He comes out to commentate. And I don't know if you clocked this, man, but as he's walking towards the ring, he throws up a quick click sign.
Oh, I didn't catch that. No, but I did catch that Shawn Michaels, not wrestling in this event at all, has a nice 3.5 minute entrance, complete with pyro. So he has to get his propers. And I love that.
Hey man, it's HBK, man. And this next match that we have, it's the main event, despite it not being anywhere near the best match of the event. It's Psycho Sid and Undertaker. And Psycho Sid at this point, he's the heavyweight champion. He's interviewing with Todd Pettengill, and he fumbles his words because Psycho Sid Vicious, Sid Justice was never known for working that mic well.
I mean, it's like he just stops dead. He's like, best in that world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing I gotta say, dude, I mean, the guy looks psychotic, right? And I know he's not, but that music, I know he's not a psycho, but it scared me watching it. I was like, this guy's gonna kill somebody. And he looks like it. And he is drenched in sweat in a way where not even a minute has wrestled. He just has walked, and I mean, just gushing sweat. It's disgusting.
He is the wettest motherfucker this side of Jermaine Jackson. I don't know anyone who is just that oily and greasy as much all the time.
I do like his mic style because here's Psycho Sid's mic style, volume 1 or volume 10. So he's like, I'm gonna come get you, and I'm gonna come get you, you fucking piece of shit. It's very bizarre to watch, and he does. I mean, it's a comical flub. I feel like that's got to be in like the top 10 bloopers of just like shitty mic work.
And he has another one that happens later with Jim Ross, where we're live, pal, and like Taker, you know which one I'm talking about? We're live, pal, and
all the skeptics and all the people have a little bit of. Let me do this again.
Oh, it's live, pal.
Sorry.
Taker, he comes out first, and his intro, as usual, man, is like forever and a day long. He comes out, and then Psycho City comes out to his $5 fireworks store introduction.
Yeah, I wonder also like Paul Bear's not here for Undertaker, and just like on a human level, you think he was sad that his boy wasn't coming out with him?
I feel like Mark Calloway said, "Fuck this shit. It's me against the world" on some Tupac shit. My man left me. This is who I came up with, and you gonna leave me for Vader and Mankind? All right, bitch. I'm about to be the world champ. Watch. Yeah.
I don't like the way you clap, bitch. So yeah, so eventually Sean, after a bunch of shit's gone on, he finally joins the announce team. And before the match gets on, he's like, giving his propers. And King is very quick to be like, dude, are you trying to fuck with Sid? You out here just to fuck with people? Why are you out here? You're being kind of nice. What's going on here? You're dressed
Are you
up.
scared of Sid?
Yeah, what's going on? I would be. But so I do like having Shawn Michaels as an announcer because he is funny as fuck and he does have some funny shit going on in this.
He is, man. And Bret Hart, because he's not done with his tirade. He's got a point to prove, and he interrupts the match before it even starts. He grabs the microphone and he said, "Look, man, I don't give a fuck. Y'all know what's up. I'm the real champion. You cheated. You could never be my friend anymore, Mr. Taker. I thought you was my dog. You act like you don't even know anybody, man. You slammed that door on my head. Fuck you. And I know you. If it wasn't for HBK, you wouldn't even be champ. You a fake. You a fraud. Sid, Justice, Vicious, Psycho. Fuck you."
I also like that Shawn Michaels, when Bret Hart comes out with the mic, he's like, "Oh, here we go. Here's Bret. Surprise, surprise. He's all mad about something." It's just like shitting on Bret Hart, dude. I love it.
It's like Project Destroy Bret Hart. And
Yeah.
I hate it. As a Bret Hart fan, I appreciate the fact that he was able to be a good heel, but I hate like the behind the scenes shit as far as like literally like they really tore him down, and like his public persona, it wasn't the same from like 97 to pretty much till he left, man.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's heavy. They're really being heavy with it. Like they're going out of their way to just shit all. I mean, they got a guy specifically out here just to like fuck with Bret Hart too. So, it is funny. He's not happy about it, but Sid, you know, I wouldn't want to tell the guy to his face that he's not the champ because he looks like the champ. Just gotta say.
And he power bombed the fuck out of Bret Hart like he's a champ.
Hell
He's
yeah.
like, man, shut the fuck up, man. Hold up, man. I got something for your ass.
And what does he say? He says he tells him, he tells him get his wine. He's like, get your whining ass out of here. I mean, they straight shit all over Bret Hart on this. It's crazy. The match is decent. I mean, they're pretty good, but I do like the Rocky double big boot that we get to see. I love that. Because that's never going to happen in real life, but a double big boot knockout, that's great.
I feel like you got to do that when you have two giants, man. Like there's some typical moves that you have when you have a monster match. And I'm a fan of both Sid and Taker, but this wasn't a good mix, man. This is like oil and water, in my opinion. Sid has better matches, and Taker definitely had better matches. I feel in my heart of hearts, this is like one of the worst main events for WrestleMania, considering what it followed. Like really, the Hart Stone Cold match should have been the main event, man, because like this was about just as long as it was 20 plus minutes, and it was like the Rocky Maivia Sultan match where there were a lot of holds, a lot of chin holds and shit. And it's like in the main event of WrestleMania, bro, you got to pull out everything.
You can't have a move where it's just grabbing a guy's trap. There's like a 2-minute period in here where Undertaker's got his like Klingon death grip on Sid Vicious. It's just like, dude, what are you even doing, dude? What are you grabbing? That gigantic trap? Probably doesn't feel it too much, but that's a thing. It is boring, and I don't like. Did they tell him like, look, dude, this Bret Hart Stone Cold thing's gonna be crazy. So you 2 matches after that, good luck, because it's a hard act to follow. And no, I feel like people are sleeping during a lot of this.
They were, man.
Like
And
Stu
I feel
Hart.
that well, Stu was asleep throughout the whole thing, man. But I think that's why they put the Chicago Street match in between the submission match and this one to kind of give them a buffer. Like that was a 5-star match. Like, let's give them some other shit to focus on before and give them some time to breathe and charge up for this championship match, man. And it's still, even with the buffer in between, it was like, all right, we're here. We're almost at the end. Let's stick around and watch this shit.
Yeah, people were just like, man, that Stone Cold Bret Hart match was dope. Hey, do you guys see that thing with that noose? That was crazy. And that's all. Like, at this point, people were just like, yeah, what was that? But we do get a couple of cool things like the double big boot. Sid Vicious does like a reversal of a tombstone into a tombstone on Undertaker, which I gotta appreciate that. That's pretty dope. And you get all the Undertaker hits. You get those like jumping clotheslines, which always look kind of awkward to me, but he hits a bunch of those. He doesn't get a choke slam in, or I don't remember one.
He does. He hits Sid with the choke slam.
Does he get a choke slam in? So all the hits, the
old school, walking along the ropes. Yeah, man. And Bret, he's still not done with his fucking rant.
Dude,
he comes back.
He's got a point to prove. Dude.
Yeah, and he comes back to crack Sid in the back with a steel chair. And like, that wasn't enough, man. Sid, he comes to and he attempts to power bomb, and he's interrupted by Bret. And Bret, he's on the apron talking his shit, and he basically takes Sid, slingshots him back into Undertaker, who then finally nails his tombstone pile driver. Undertaker wins the match, and he's the new World Heavyweight Champion of WWF.
Now Shawn Michaels is like, I'm gonna get that strap. I'll be there.
Like that meme. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. But it's not, but this I feel like is them being like, fuck all this old school shit. Even this match with Sid and Undertaker. I mean, like, Sid kind of like was around. He was a name I remember from like way back in the day. And I guess, Undertaker's sort of old school too, but like the Stone Cold thing, the Nation, all that shit. I mean, the next year, I think DX is going to be there at the WrestleMania. So, like, they were in full, like, transform mode. And fuck it, dude. If all we got out of this was that Bret Hart Stone Cold match, that's a motherfucker of a match. That is one of my favorite matches, dude.
It was considered the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. And that says a lot, because there have been some great main events. There have been some not so good ones, like the one we've had in this one, man. But like, that was considered the match of the year by Wrestling Observer newsletter. And like I said, it was a 5-star match, and the pieces are here, Matt. They have the pieces of the Attitude Era. You got Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who's not Triple H yet. You have China. Shawn Michaels is around. Bret Hart's still there. Owen Hart's still there. You got the Nation just starting to form. Of course, you have Stone Cold. You got Mankind. Rocky Maivia, he hasn't figured it out yet, but he'll get there. So the pieces are all in this event. They just...
It had to marinate a little longer. You had to, it's like it's good if you eat it right away, but if you let it sit for a little bit, it's going to be perfect. And in like, even like a year, I feel like it's an astronomical like rise. It's just crazy that both WCW and WWF, it's like they figured it out at the same time.
No, not the same time.
Really?
I honestly, I'm more of a Vince guy, as you know, man, but he wouldn't have done all of what he did in Attitude Era had it not been for NWO.
Yeah, I mean, but it's close, and both of them were like, you guys got to be anti-heroes now. Nobody wants to see Hulk Hogan swinging a flag around and being like, love the troops. Everyone loves the troops, but we want to see a guy who's swinging a beer and telling you to your face that you're a pussy and he's going to whoop your ass. That's what you want.
And still support the troops.
For sure. It'd be one of their biggest supporters, but also give him a Steve Weiser and get the fuck out of his way.
Give me a hell yeah!
and he's going to tell you you're a bitch. So that's what we all needed back in the day, and what we were living. You know, there was a lot of people being called bitches back in the day, and we just apparently really were into that. So fuck them.
It's debatable whether or not this is the birth of the Attitude Era, because some people do say that. Some people say King of the Ring 96. Some people say WrestleMania 14. Some people say Montreal Screwjob. I don't know, man.
It is just, but to see the like what I remember of Bret Hart, I forgot about this transition where he was kind of a linchpin, where they were like, oh, this guy that you know that's been like this ultimate baby face that wrestling, he's like the child of wrestling. He's gonna be a fucking asshole now. So like it is weird to see that. And I mean, in this specific pay-per-view, I mean, it was on full, he was bitching. The promo about the event showed him bitching for a solid minute, and then the rest of it is just him throwing temper tantrums and like beating a guy to a bloody unconscious pulp. It's pretty wild. He wasn't doing that back even with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. You know, Neidhart probably chewed a guy's face off, but you never saw that.
No, they keep that in Canada. and I always say Canadians are cool, but Bret, you got to learn when to shut the fuck up when Americans are talking and wrestling. But I digress.
Let me tell you something about goddamn a Labatt Blue drinking fucking Canadian talking about getting a screw job. I'll give you a screw job, you little pansy ass.
The grass is high, the grass is east.
Drake,
And
take one in the back like a fucking man. Suck it up.
But on March 23rd, 1998, Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, releases A Rose is Still a Rose. And that song, I remember that being played, man, because it was a big deal. Aretha Franklin's a big deal. And like that was like her entry into saying, like, I never went anywhere. I'm back.
I'm a diva.
She is, man. And I feel like she gets her props, but I don't think she gets enough. Like the props she's given, she deserves even more, sevenfold, tenfold. Speaking of WrestleMania, she actually performed at WrestleMania 3. She did the national anthem on the piano, man, and that is a memorable moment. And RIP to that sister, man. She's got a lot of hits, man. I was going to tell a Paul Mooney joke, but like, no, I'm giving Aretha Franklin her praise this time around, despite the fact that Paul Mooney joke is hilarious. Love you though. In 1999, Static X releases Wisconsin Death Trip, and that's the one with and I remember this, the album cover.
I just never, the glue hair, the guy's last name being Static. The whole thing just was cheesy to me. I wasn't into this.
I feel like it was a WWF gimmick. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he could have been hanging out with the Headbangers. They probably did blow together or something. But the whole, especially the hair, dude. I was just like, what's going on here? It's too much effort.
you're a turd, bro. And you know, fuck. R.I.P. Wayne Static. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
He passed away 2017 or 18.
From the
But
glue?
I'm not disagreeing with anything you said. I would get them confused with Power Man 5000 sometimes. I don't know why.
That's
It's
an
that new
insult to
metal
Power Man 5000 and the Rob Zombie family as a whole. But
because his brother's the singer, right?
I think it was his cousin. I don't know. It's
Okay.
convoluted, but Static X, I didn't know the guy was dead. I can only assume from glue exposure on his dome. But yeah, sorry. Rest in peace, Wayne Static. That sucks. I don't ever wish that on anybody, but the whole vibe of Static X, I just wasn't, I was listening to Limp Bizkit and shit. I wasn't into
Yeah.
that.
This is when new metal was just throwing us everything on MTV and TRL. Like new metal was a thing where we had Limp Bizkit, we had Korn, we had Deftones, and like we had what else? System of a Down, and then we got thrown into like we got Slipknots and Static X and Power Man 5000 and
Cold
Disturbed.
Mud. filter.
puddle of mud. It was just too much. It was too much. And this is one of those things for me that was just too much. Push It, it was actually not a bad song. And there was another single from that album called I'm With Stupid. I don't know if you remember that.
I'm not saying that they never had a good song. I'm Push It, I can remember. That wasn't the one. There was one I think that was on a video game or something that I was really into, but yeah, it was too much. There were too many white dudes that were angry or sad about something, and I only had enough room for so many. Once Linkin Park got in, that was like the last one, you know.
Yeah, this is Two Kroger Kmart. And also in 1999, Livin' La Vida Loca, sung by Ricky Martin, was released, and it goes on to sell over 8 million copies. That man should not have to work ever again in his life.
Yeah, I mean, he was a thing. Ricky Martin really lived La Vida Loca, Steve.
This is what we're in our sophomore year of high school, kind of about to go into summer, heading into junior year, man. And I remember this being everywhere, man.
I feel like this and Macarena came out around the same time, and there was just like everybody wanted that Latin like sizzle. Some people wanted this. I mean, the guy, you know, it is what it is. I wasn't a fan, but again, you heard what I was listening to. There was no room for this, but
yeah,
TRL loved it.
I share the same disdain for both of them. That and the Macarena, and then the Mambo #5. I think this came out around that time.
Yeah, and even like the guy Scatman that from that song, whatever that was, it's all the same. It's like shit that either you're doing coke to or you're in like a strip club. Something you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Listening to that, and it's not good. Mambo #5, I just give credit to because those guys looked old as shit.
That was their last shot.
And it was just like, okay, that's fine. I'll allow it. I didn't like that it was a dance. Or the Macarena one. I didn't like that one. That one, whatever that was, I was fat. I didn't want to do the Macarena and I wasn't into it. So
yeah, Mambo #5 was like a little bit of Gina in my life. Yeah, fuck all that shit. But any callbacks, honorable mentions, or things of unspeakable nature?
I just want to shout out to Howie Mandel of all people. I watched a couple episodes of Bobby's World just cause you know we've been talking about it, we've seen it, and I just gotta
For the culture,
dude, it's a banger of a cartoon. If you got a little kid, show him some Bobby's World. You're gonna learn him something. I learned a little something about my imagination, Steve, and just using it and just enjoying it.
The theme song is pretty catchy, man. I mean, there's no lyrics, but it's moving.
It's like great animation. It's simple, but I don't know. It's probably just because I'm nostalgic as a motherfucker, but there's something about that show, man. They nailed it. So shout out Howie Mandel.
Yeah, and you watched some episodes over the week?
Yeah, I just turned a couple on. One was it's where like there's something with the bus driver, and the next episode was the one where he died. So I watched like a heavy one too, and I was just like, even the later ones, it didn't go too long, but there was enough where there was some like through lines and shit. And I don't know, man. It just is one of those shows where I feel like a lot of the stuff that we like that's not as like it's not mainstream. I don't think people are gonna know about it soon. You know, like I don't like who knows about Bobby's World other than people that listen to this show. So keep listening.
I feel like people have already kind of forgotten about that and Captain Planet, like things like that, unless they make a resurgence, man, like Tiny Toons.
Remember Eek the Cat?
Eek the Cat, I remember.
It's gone, Steve. We're old. And this is all that we have left is just talking about it and just living the good life, Steve. Reliving those days.
That's what the old people did.
What about you? You got any callbacks or bloody discharges that you want to talk about?
Oh, this one from my forehead. Oh, that sharpshooter. But 1997, the same day as WrestleMania 13, King of the Hill is airing the episode Shins of the Father. And we get a full detailed intro of Cotton Hill. He visits the Hill family. And I really had a hard decision whether we should cover this or Clarissa. We've never covered Clarissa before, and this was supposed to be the premiere episode of Clarissa. So it was like, and we just covered King of the Hill last week, and probably like 2 weeks before that. So gotta have some disparity.
Need a little variety, but I think he made the right choice. But Cotton is probably one of the worst fathers in all of TV, and he is a great character. So
He's a great character. Just
I'll
like
do the dishes for you.
and he just always refers to Peggy Hill as Hank's wife. Like, this episode was actually hilarious, as you could imagine, man. And I think I might rewatch it tonight, but it was just like, Clarissa, you were cool too.
Hell yeah.
But please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and tell your sister to push it, push it. Please check out Crushgasm every Wednesday with Kendra, B3F Podcast with Joey and Steve, and Don't Worry B Movie with Amanda and Wade. This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s.
Let me do this again.
Oh, it's live, pal.
Sorry.